Hello everyone, welcome back to The Budget Sportsman. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Today I am going to be announcing the winner of the recent giveaway that we did with custom gear modification for the Sidewinder Saddle. And we're also going to be having a conversation with the winner by Zoom. Now, to be honest, if you haven't had a conversation with me recently on Zoom, then you're not the winner. But I hope that you will continue to watch anyways, even though you didn't win, because we had a really awesome conversation with a guy named Aaron, and there was a twist to this giveaway that's really, really cool. Now, I just have to say right up front here, there were a ton of great entries into this giveaway, and I wish that I had 100 saddles to give away because there were so many of you that really could use a saddle, and it would make a big difference. Unfortunately, we had to pick one, and I will go into more details in the call with Aaron about why we chose him as the winner. For now, though, before we dive into that call, I do want to read Aaron's entry into the giveaway. This is what he said. He said, "I'm a pastor of a small church in Massachusetts, and I'm on a very limited spending budget for hunting. All of my gear has been gifted to me or given to me secondhand. I shoot a 20-year-old Hoyt Magnatech and have an ancient climber that was given to me last season. This was my third season hunting, and I'm all in. My wife thinks it's great, but it sure does require being thrifty. The freedom that a saddle offers would be so awesome for the area that I live in, and my climber is almost too much for most of the areas that I hunt. Thank you for even making this a possibility, and God bless." So let's go ahead and dive into the conversation with Aaron. We're going to learn more about Aaron. We're going to learn how I chose him as the winner and learn more about the twist that took place in this giveaway.
How's it going?
Good, man. I'm a little starstruck right now. So
Don't be. Anybody can start a YouTube channel. There's not a high bar for entry there.
I know, but to be honest with you, I was like, as soon as you emailed me, I was a little like, is this a scam?
No, it's not a scam. Here I am in the flesh.
Yeah, unless you're really good at AI, man. I mean, this is good.
So I left it, I emailed you, and I'm sure you're like wondering whether you won or whether it's just like a random, I just like wanted to chat. So I have to tell you the story though about this before I give you the answer, which I guess you might know. So we had about 160 entries into the giveaway.
Wow.
And some folks didn't follow the instructions, so that narrowed the field pretty quickly. And I narrowed it down to about 25 finalists, I guess you could say. And so I sent it over to Jerry from Custom Gear Modifications. And I said, "Jerry, are there any of these you want to eliminate? Just help me, narrow down the field." And he sent back a list to eliminate. And all of them, I mean, we eliminated, even before we got down to 25, we eliminated some good answers. To narrow it down to 11, we eliminated some really good answers. And so we got down to the final 11. And I told Jerry, I said, "Hey, look, I'm just going to do a random drawing for these final 11 because I can't pick one. They're just, they're good." And Jerry responded to me, and this kind of surprised me because I've never had this conversation with Jerry. He said, "Hey, that's totally fine to do a random drawing, but I do have a special place in my heart for those guys who," I think his exact words were, "spread the word of God."
Oh, wow.
And he said, they sacrifice a lot in the name of faith. And, I had never had that conversation with him. So you watch me enough, you probably know that I am a believer. I have a ministry.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to let that personal bias sort of dictate who won.
Sure.
But when Jerry suggested that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a look at the ones who are in ministry. And there's 3 in the final 11.
Okay.
And 2 of them, they looked great, but for some reason I kept being drawn to your answer. You're like the epitome of the budget sportsman. Would you say, shoot like a 20-year-old bow, something like that?
I have I can get into the history of all that if you want, but yes, I shoot a Hoyt Magnatech from 2003.
So I asked Jerry, I said, "What do you think about Aaron?" He said, "I think that's a great pick." And so we ended up not doing the random drawing. We just chose you to be the winner of the Sidewinder Saddle.
Wow. Wow.
But so I got to tell more of the story though, because you remind me of myself when I started YouTube, at least the little bit I know about you. I know like this much from your giveaway entry. But I made a video called "Does God Care About My Arrows?" I didn't have $42 to buy a half dozen arrows. I
think I may have commented on that video.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was just And now, YouTube has given me the ability to do more than I did then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But for me to start saddle hunting, a large part of it was companies that were willing to work with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we decided that you were going to be the winner, I got thinking, I'm like, okay, this could be more of a curse than a blessing, because you've got the saddle, but there's so much more to it.
I know.
And I was like, all right, how do I help? So I started, like, I'm just going to reach out and see what I can do to some of my contacts. I reached out to XOP. XOP has worked with me in the past. And I said, hey, we're doing this giveaway. Here's Aaron. He's going to be the winner of a saddle. Would you be willing to send him any sticks, climbing sticks? And they wrote back, and I said, they can be the old model, doesn't matter. They wrote back and said they're willing to send you the brand new X2 climbing sticks, which they're not the production model. These are like pre-production. They're going to be a different paint scheme or something like that. But they're sticks that are not even available yet, but they're going to send them to you, so get your address. And then unprompted, they said, well, what else does he need? I said, well, from his entries, coming from an old climber, he's got nothing. And they said, okay, we're going to send him the Edge platform and ropes. So you're going to be getting the Sidewinder gear modification, sticks from XOP, platform. This is the older Edge platform, not the brand new one. And they're going to hook you up with all the ropes that you need. So I'm sure you're going to find other stuff to add into your accessories, but you're going to get the full setup.
Wow, dude. I'm like speechless, number one. But wow, thank you. Wow. Like, I'm actually really happy you brought up the whole, like, does God care about my arrows thing? Because, like, when you made that video, that's when I first, like, started watching you. And that's like that's the Christian life. God cares about everything in our life. Yes. And doesn't mean we're gonna get everything we want, right? But like I've always been enamored with how that's the God we serve. And I thought that was such a cool video, and I was really happy that you were bold enough to make that video, because it's amazing. I could tell you that this is just gonna, like, help my testimony so much, as far as, like, just I got into hunting 3 years ago, really 4 years ago. 3 years ago, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Not that I know anything, or even I'm under the kind of like the tutelage of some other more experienced hunters, but good. I'm very happy with what I have. I want more, obviously, like every other hunter, but I literally have not paid for a single thing.
That's so awesome.
My camo, my bow, the restringing of the bow.
Awesome.
I would, and so I'm just like overwhelmed right now. I just, like, God cares about your climbing sticks.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I just can't even.
Here's the thing, Aaron. It was so cool because we actually chose you as the winner. I think it was like last Tuesday, and I had some things that kept me from. Well, one of them was I wanted to reach out to XOP, but I also was doing some traveling. I wasn't able to really reach out to you right away. But I've been more excited about this, like, in the last, like, 4 or 5 days, whatever it is. Like, I remember the first time, Tethered was the first company that really worked with me on any saddle hunting stuff, and they sent me a whole box. And I was, like, so pumped, because it was like I was going to get the saddle hunt. And I've been as excited to let you know that you've won this, I think, as when I got all my stuff, because I just relate to where you're at and what you're doing. And
That's unbelievable.
Life's different for me now, and that I have some money from YouTube to spend on hunting and that kind of thing. But I was where you were, where I didn't have the money to do it, and so I'm super excited.
Wow. Well, I'm surprised I'm not crying like a baby right now, because I'm a crier. But thank God that I'm holding it in right now, if this is going to be on the internet. But I'm just, like, stunned. I'm more in shock right now.
So there it is. I hope you enjoyed that video. We had an awesome conversation with Aaron. Big congrats to Aaron. But I also want to say a huge thank you to Custom Gear Modification, as well as XOP, for just jumping in there at the last minute and making all of this possible. You know, really this giveaway is not from me. I am just sort of the platform where we made it all happen. Really, I was privileged to work with a couple of companies here who made this all happen for Aaron, and I could not be more thankful to just be a small part of it. Thank you to all of you who support the channel. Again, I wish I could give a saddle setup to all of you. That's just not possible, but a huge thanks for entering the giveaway and being involved on the Budget Sportsman YouTube channel. Until next time, remember to get off YouTube and get outdoors into God's great creation.